Can I talk for a moment about the classic Hollywood redemption story of Danny Trejo? He grew up in a working-class family, the son of a construction worker. During his adolescent years and his 20s, he was frequently in jail, serving a few terms at San Quentin. He had his battles with drug addiction. He overcame both his life of crime and drug abuse to become a youth addict counselor. He also earned a respectable reputation as a boxer in the San Quentin lightweight and featherweight divisions. One of his patients was having drug issues while working on the film Runaway Train, directed by Andrei Konchalovsky. When on set, he was offered an extras role. From there, screenwriter and former San Quentin inmate Edward Bunker offered him a position as a boxing trainer for actor Eric Roberts. Konchalovsky was impressed with Trejo's work. He offered him a role on screen as a boxer. From there, Trejo's career went off like a rocket. He later discovered he was a long-distance cousin to director Robert Rodriguez and would go on to appear in many of his films, including Desperado, From Dusk Till Dawn, the Spy Kids series, Once Upon a Time in Mexico, and Machete. Other films in his extensive filmography include Michael Mann's Heat, Con Air, and Rob Zombie's The Devil's Rejects. If there was one actor that just screamed for a biopic, it would be Danny Trejo. Michael Paré as Blake is the main antagonist, and he's entertaining in a low-budget equivalent to Tom Berenger kind of way. He never loses his mean streak, especially in a scene where he cuts off the fingers of the warden as a method of interrogation. Paré is one of those actors you've likely seen in a dozen movies and not realize it. He got his big break in the 80s classic Eddie and the Cruisers. He's done his share of indie projects like The Virgin Suicides for Sofia Coppola, The Last Outlaw for Canadian filmmaker Brett Kelly, the recent Puppet Master The Littlest Reich. He made a mainstream appearance in The Lincoln Lawyer with Matthew McConaughey. He was essentially Uwe Boll's go-to actor, appearing in 8 films under the German director. I highly, highly recommend Tunnel Rats 1968, especially for all those cynics who are quick to label Boll as the worst movie director of all time. They Call Me Trinity marks the transition of the duo from westerns that were serious for the most part to films comedic in nature. From the snappy dialogue to the increased acts of physical comedy to the set pieces, this is the Bud Spencer and Terence Hill that everyone would become familiar with. This garnered a lot of positive feedback from parents who took their kids to see They Call Me Trinity.
Didn't find me typecast at all, but I did typecast myself on my own will. Because up until then I had done all kinds of movies, dramatic movies, but after the Two Trinities movie, they would stop me, especially mothers in the street, more than once, and said, please, 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 keep doing movies like these, because we want to be able to take our kids to the theaters without expecting anything that they couldn't see or couldn't watch. So this gave me the responsibility of keeping on doing movies that were for all audiences. So in that sense, I typecasted myself.
As anyone who is familiar with the Italian film industry, when a trend or specific film was an international success, there were producers and filmmakers that tried to capitalize on that success with imitations. Spencer and Hill had their share of copycats. The most glaring example would be the duo of Paul L. Smith and Michael Colby, real name Antonio Cantafora. If you go back to episode 6, when I was going through the first volume of the Grindhouse Experience, I touched a little bit on the interesting career of Mr. Smith. He was the Bud Spencer-esque crime boss in the Hong Kong classic Return of the Tiger. Those familiar with internet memes might be familiar with the "Can I copy your homework" meme. One student tells the other to change their work so the teacher won't notice. Well, the producers at Film Ventures International predate that meme by around 40 years. With the duo of Paul Smith and Michael Colby, Film Ventures changed their name. To capitalize on Bud Spencer and Terence Hill, Film Ventures gave their duo the names Bob Spencer and Terrence Hall.
You gotta be fucking kidding.
Smith would sue Film Ventures over this name change. In his statement, Smith claimed, "The only thing an actor has is his name, and if it's taken away, he has nothing." The judicial system sided with Smith, awarding him damages and recompense for his court costs.